Welcome to the Hamsing Analytics Daily Market Commentary. I'm Pablo Navarro. Today is Wednesday, November 21st, 2012. For the market internals, the New York Stock Exchange advanced decline differential closed at 976. The Nasdaq advanced decline differential closed at 676. We have 12 new 52-week highs for the S&P 500 and 10 new 52-week lows for the S&P 500. For the volatility, 739,000 contracts traded on the VIX today with 98 million in total premiums paid. Big volume day today. For the December dollar-weighted put-call ratio, we saw one reading which is neutral with 55% of the total premiums paid. On January, a 0.73 reading which is neutral with 12% of the total premiums paid. And in February, a 38 reading which is very bullish with 18% of the total premiums paid. Last March, we saw a 0.1 reading which is bearish with 15% of the total premiums paid. Okay, here we have the daily chart for SPX. We have an update, 3.21 handles or 0.25% today. We finished at 1391. Yesterday we talked about going to Zero Sigma, which right now is at 1394. We're pretty close to it. Tomorrow we have a closed market and we'll see what happens on Friday. We want to see how the market's going to react with that Zero Sigma on the daily chart. That's going to be important here. We're going to the moving averages chart. Here you can see it clearly. We are going to test first this green line here at 1394, and then we're looking for this downward trend line here around 1400. That's going to be critical. We want to see how the market reacts, if we are able to break to the upside or if we're going to bounce back lower. We're going to have to watch and see, maybe not Friday because it's pretty short term, but maybe Monday or Tuesday. That's going to be critical. Watch this downward trend and the 20-day moving average here. That's what we're looking around here. Market has been able to continue to close above the 200-day moving average since we broke it. And now looks like we're going to test that 20-day moving average and even that trend line around the 1400 or 1398, pretty close depending on what date. Going to the SPY chart, here we have it. We are right now at the 20-day moving average. We want to break that to the upside and test the 1400. We could draw the same trend line here to the downside around this level, and we still have this 140 to test. 140 is going to be very important, or you could draw another trend line pretty similar to this one like this, and we are right now at some resistance. You can see it here clearly, the 20-day moving average and that downward trend line. So we're going to have to wait and see. You know, technical analysis is not a science. We have to give him some space. Let's watch what happens Friday and Monday to take a better stance on the market and what's going on. If we go to the Qs, here we have the daily chart for the Qs, the Nasdaq ETF. We are approaching that 20-day moving average at 64.18. That's going to be important to watch here and see what happens from here. If we draw a trend line from this Nasdaq ETF, here we could see it. Pretty much it would be around here, these levels. And we are breaking that trend line to the upside. So we're going to have to wait and see how we react with that 64.20, 64.18 level. The 20-day moving average is going to be critical here. So let's look at how the Nasdaq acts Friday and Monday. At least we are getting a continuation of this big reversal we saw on Friday and this huge gap up on Monday. So at least we are continuing to go higher, which is positive. We are going to see what happens next. If we do break this 64.20, we may be targeting this 65.44, the 200-day moving average here on the Nasdaq ETF or the Qs. Let's go to the IWM. This is the Russell 2000 ETF, risk on, risk off ETF, and looks here like we're getting more risk on appetite. We talked about still being on a downward trend line. We continue to be here. We've seen here highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, and probably next one will continue to be a lower high. So that will, the trend still to the downside. We are getting some bullish action here. We are up to a 0.5%, and we're looking for this 880 level to be some type of resistance here. This 80 level, if we continue this trend line we had here, So watch the 80 level in case we break to the upside. 80 level, 80, 80, 50, 200-day moving average. That's critical here. So between 80 and 80, 50, that's going to be some type of resistance. We want to see it, how it reacts there, if we are able to break to the upside or if we're going to fail and come back lower. So that's what we're looking at here. Maybe looking at how the market's going to react going forward and not just establishing a position from here right on. Let's watch what it does here from the couple of next resistance in the next couple of days, and from there on we could establish either a long or short trade from here. Let's go to GLD. Very important things happening here. GLD, we have basically a flat chart. We were down for the day, but we were able to turn it up back higher, which is positive here on the market. As you can see here, we are having, after this big run up higher, we're starting to sell up a little bit, and it could look like a pretty short bull flag here if you could look at a 15-minute chart or even a 5-minute chart. But the important thing here is the 68.60 level, 168.60 level. That's going to be critical. 55-day moving average. We talked about this level, very important. Now we have this trend line here to the upside. We need another test here to this 67 and then try to break up to the upside. We have tested this level almost 10 times here, no go, and we are seeing it, this triangle, we could draw it here, it's trying to get smaller and smaller, so we are going to get a breakout or breakdown. We want to see what's going to happen from here. I think we're going to go higher, break that 68.60 and go even and test the highs, but we're going to have to wait, nothing from here yet. So let the market tell you what to do, don't try to think too much. Let's go to SLD. Here SLD, a totally different chart from GLD. You can see it here, we broke the 200-day moving average, upward trend line perfectly holding, and yesterday, the last 3 days, we've been trying to break this 55-day moving average, no, and today we were able to break it and close above it. Very interesting bullish pattern here, breakout here, and we're seeing also what it's called a inverse head and shoulders pattern. You can see it here. We are breaking that pattern around 32.50. We break that, I think we're ready to go here. Our target now that we've broken the 55-day moving average is 33.9. That's our target here. Test this highs. So let's look for 38, 33.80, 33.90. That's going to be our target. SLV, pretty bullish pattern here, and that's what I'm looking here on silver. Here we have the daily chart for the VIX. We continue to go a little bit higher today, 1%, 1.5, but we're still on the 1530 level, -2 sigma. Remember, we want to close the week below 15. We want a confirmation. We want to break down completely here in the VIX, break below 15. We have a couple of one more day on Friday, and that's it. If not, Monday or Tuesday, we want to continue to go lower here in the VIX and see what happens as the market tries to rally. That's what I'm looking here in the VIX. This 15 level, it's going to be critical for me on the next couple of days. We have a special offer by TradeStation. Get your Hamsey Analytics proprietary indicators paid by TradeStation. Contact Active Traders office in Chicago, Peter Albino, at the number listed below. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you Friday.